Welcome back everybody to TechPress. Let's take a look into how we can get started with Evernote for beginners. I'm going to leave you a link down below in the description so you can get your account totally for free. You might be getting a huge deal if you wanted to check it out the premium versions, but here I wanted to focus now into the free version and how you can get started as an individual in a free account. So if you sign up already, you might be seeing that you have here the huge deal, and you have now into the left part your sections and your actual notes. You have the home, the shortcuts, your notes, tasks, and the buried notebook. Now into the right part, you can see all your notes here, your scratching pads, you have the recently captured moment, and customize your home. Now customize your home is going to be helping you to, let's say, understand the application a little bit more and to fill and reorganize stuff as you are getting started into Evernote. If I hit into customize into the right part down below in here, you can see that I can just customize my own home section. For example, let's say that I don't use the scratch pad anymore, so I can close this one and I can drag a new widget here. For example, let's say that I wanted to look out for a calendar. So I can go for calendar, I scroll, and I dropped. There we go. So I can choose the widget size. For example, this is like the small one. I can choose the medium one. Of course, this one is going to be resized like this. And if you kind of like this, you can just move this. Let's say, for example, it's the very first part of my section here. So here I have my calendar. Here I have my notes. I'm going to move this like this. And now here I have the recently captured. Let's say, for example, I want to change this. And here I wanted to add like a new task. So now I have now the customization of my home section. So if you kind of like what you're seeing here, I'm just going to go into save and go into continue. Usually there's a few upgrades that needed to be added if you actually wanted to customize your stuff. So now let's say that I wanted to get started with my very first note. I'm going to go here into new and let's go for note. Inside note, the untitled element, so I can just get started with a title. Let's say, for example, that I'm just getting started with my very first class of math. So math 1. Start writing. Let's go for introduction. So usually what I did here is to add all the elements that I wanted to see. And I can edit this as I'm just getting started. For example, let's say that the introduction is like in a bold section. And now in here, I wanted to not write anything, but just to add more elements. Like for example, like I can draw something. Usually you can see that I can have this stroke motion, so I can just select this one and rewrite this like this. Adding something specifically from the calendar could be added into the upper side. So now we do have a free version once again. So this is only for a premium one. So I don't want to focus a lot on that. You can always save this if you're willing to let things move like that. So let's say, for example, here into the math number 1, I can add my very first homework. So I'm going to go here into homework. I unselect this. From normal text, let's go for medium head. And here, let's go for task number 1 is to read book from 14 to 16 pages to page 14 and 16 like this. So I need to do this today or tomorrow. So I just leave this like that. If you hit into enter, you can create a new task. If you're okay with that, you can just hit into OK. If you don't like this or you wanted to delete something, hit into the right part and hit into delete. So now I have my task. When I finish my task, I can always push this and this one should be scratched automatically. I can start a totally new note for only task if I go into new and go for task. So automatically I have my things to do. For example, I have the to-do list, select a note, or I can create a new one. So into task, let's say that I have my laundry. Inside my laundry, this one should be automatically created, like something really easy if you are like in a rush or you are in your phone. Really simple to do. Now if I go into the left part, I have my notebooks. Usually into your notebooks, you can just get started with creating more notes, more tasks, but you can organize them into files or into folders. In this case, it's called notebooks. So everything about school, I can create a new notebook. Now let's go for school stuff. Now inside school stuff, let's say that I wanted to add math. So I have here the school stuff, and inside I can get started with my notes. So new note, and I have here maths. I can create a new one, new note, and now here I have Spanish class. There we go. So I have 2 of them inside my notebook of the school stuff. and I can go back into my notebooks, and here, as you can see, here are my notes inside this new notebook. I can get started with something else, going into share with me. Usually there are people that can help you to add their notes and the notebooks directly in here, and if you wanted to do exactly the same thing, you wanted to go here into the notebook or into the note that you wanted to show, and into the upper side you have the show section. Inside the show, what I wanted to do is to go for enabled this actual link, or you can invite someone manually here by entering a name or an email, so you can hit to can view, can edit, or can edit and invite the person that you just added. After that, just hit into the X mark and you're successfully done. If you wanted more information about your account, you can always go here into the upper side, hit into account information. This one should be taking you into the summary, your personal settings, the device's profile, reminders, points, and upgrades. Usually there are like a few tasks. So if you go directly into the help.evernote.com, here into the help and login, she'll be helping you to figure out how does the actual Evernote works. If you want to find out more information about Google, Calendar Overview, Tasks Overview, Home, subscribing, change Evernote, and subscribe to professional stuff. So this is the way of how you can get started for the very first time into Evernote. So don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you find this video useful. Thank you once again for watching the video, guys. See you next time.